What's happening, guys? GD here, coming at you today with another discussion video. And today's discussion is heroes versus villains. So, when you first download DC, you go into the character creation screen and you have to make the most important decision of your DCUO career. Are you going to be a hero or are you going to be a villain? So basically, are you going to join Batman in the crusade to keep the streets of Gotham clean? Or are you going to join Joker and inflict as much terror as you possibly can? So, at the moment, we're coming up to DCUO's 4th birthday, which is in January, I believe. And it's got me thinking about the population, especially on the EUPS side. Now, it's quite well known in the PvP community side of things on my server that heroes are a lot more popular than villains are. When we had the server merge a few years ago, which was one of the best things that happened to this game, it was quite balanced. You had your decent leagues out there. You had your likes of Mass Terror, Elitism, Eminence, all on the villain side. And on the hero side, you had your likes of Team Awesome, you had your Gravity, you had your Full Metal Hero, Second to None, all of the good names. But since then, the sort of villain side of the PvP community has died down a bit, and it's a bit of a struggle for villains to get groups together, and you'll find that the majority of games that you'll have against a villain team is either going to be a bit of a mixed match, or you get that one opportunity a week when you've got a full Mass Terror group, you've got a full Eminence group. And it's got me thinking about really the reason of why this has happened. Now, when I first started playing DC, I started as a villain. I started playing the game with a few mates, and DC was all very new to me, but I much preferred the villain side of DC. You've got some badass characters in there, which really brought me to the villain side. You've got your likes of the Joker, you've got your likes of Scarecrow, Two-Face, all beasts, and I was brought more into that side of DC than the hero side. But I had a mate who absolutely loved Superman. So much so that he's actually named some of his, or two of his kids after some characters from Superman. So I ended up going onto the hero side, and I honestly don't regret that decision at all. I've met some awesome people along the way, and I wouldn't be where I am today unless I met those people, YouTube wise, and also my skill level as a player in DC. So I don't regret it one bit, but there is always that one part of me which makes me think and makes me wish really I stayed as a villain, and that mainly is the villain side. Is you're a villain, you're a badass, you're there to cause terror, you're not the goody two shoes. But the main purpose of this video is to have a discussion about why on our server, the EUPS, it seems so unbalanced at the moment. Now, to support this, what I've done is a video of me flying around Gotham for 15 minutes, just scouting players that I encounter. Now, a lot of people probably aren't going to believe the sort of figures, because they're ridiculously exact. I couldn't believe it happened when I totaled it up. But along my journey, I encountered 25 villains and 50 heroes. Now, it doesn't take a genius to work out that that is double the heroes to villains. And I know I've said a lot at the start of the video about the PvP side of things, but I was in PvE phase during this, and there's a lot of fresh guys there. So it's got me thinking about, if you're starting to play DC all that time ago when it first launched, or now, why does it seem that the hero side is a lot more popular than the villain side? Is it that people who start playing the game now start playing from watching YouTube, and you find that the majority of YouTubers from especially my server are heroes? You've got the likes of Orbit, Balkan, Smile Before Death, Ivy Seeker, myself. We're all heroes, and Is it that the fan bases which is coming from YouTube, who want to start playing the game, are thinking, oh, I want to join on the same side as that they're on? Or is it that the hero content is a lot more appealing than what the villain content is? There's not a massive amount of difference, but there's some instances which are different on the villain side, and there's obviously the styles. Now me personally, I've played on both sides of things, and personally I actually prefer the villain styles. I reckon they're a lot more badass, but that's just my personal preference. Now the sort of ease to get into groups on the villain side is it's not the best PvE wise. I mean, I made my villain character mainly for PvP, but obviously I wanted to get some PvE done as well along the way, and I found it very difficult to get into a group in LFG chat as a DPS, and it's a lot easier to get into a group if you're like a support role, like a controller or a healer. Whereas you go on the hero side in LFG chat and there's people shouting out for everything. DPS here, healer here, tank here, controller here, and I can guarantee to you that you can get into a group 10 times easier on the PvE on the hero side, sorry, than you can the villain side. So I don't play any other sort of servers, any other platforms, so I wanted to get some feedback from the other guys, the USPS side, the EU PC side. What exactly is it like on your server? Is there this unbalance that there is on the EU PS server? And if there is it the same sort of thing? Is it hero side is more dominant than the villain side, or is it vice versa? And why do you really think this has happened? And more importantly, I'm a hero, so I don't suffer too much from this, but I do feel for the villains. What can be done to sort this out? Now, the obvious answer is respec tokens to go from a hero to a villain, or villain to hero, whichever you prefer. I mean, it might be difficult for the devs, like for feat wise, but we've got the skill point transfer, so I can't imagine that'll be too much of a problem. But is it something which they would look into? Is it something that they sort of address as a problem? And is it something that really needs to be resolved? I mean, in the comic books, you've got heroes go into villains all the time, and then villains go into heroes, especially in like the in the lanterns, for example, like Sinestra. So, is it something that needs to be addressed, or is it something that the villains have just got to put up with? Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know in the comments below. You can reach me on Twitter as always. I'm gonna pop this video on Twitter, and I'm gonna include Spittle and Meps in the post, so that they can have a little watch if they want to, and they can put their thoughts towards it as well. Now, I might just be thinking about something which is completely irrelevant, but I feel for you, my villain buddies. I feel for you, and I want to help you out. So if you're a villain on the EUPS side, let me know how you're feeling. Now, as always, guys, just wanted to say a little thank you for all the support that you guys give me. My subscribers, I don't like to call them my fans because it's a game after all, and I'm just a normal guy. All my subscribers, thank you for staying tuned to my videos and putting up with me, because I know I don't upload as regularly as most people, but when I get all your positive feedback, it means a lot to me. So thanks very much, guys. Cheers for taking note of the effort. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe as always. Take care and have a beautiful day. See you later.